So today for our math lesson, we're going to talk about shapes. And we're going to review first the shapes that you already know. So I'm going to move a shape and you say the name of the shape. Okay, this one is triangle. Good. This one is hexagon. Good. This one is square. Good. There's another one that is square. I didn't notice I had two, but this is not a square. What's that one? Yes, you said rectangle. Good. What shape is that? Good. Circle. And what shape is this? If you said trapezoid, you're right. Now notice this trapezoid is half of a hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. Octagon, like a stop sign, would have 8 sides, but here's our shapes. Now the thing about shapes is, say this shape, which is just the lid off of a juice can, it's flat, so we call it a circle. But if I have a shape like this, that is a ball, it looks like a circle, but when I hold it in my hand, I can tell it's not flat like this one. If I put them side by side, you can see that the flat circle is flat. But this one, the ball, is not flat. We call that a three-dimensional shape. That's called, do you know it? Sphere. Some of you know it. Good. There is another three-dimensional shape. Sphere is going to roll away. There is another three-dimensional shape that has a circle face and a circle face. This flat part, we call it a face. So the lid is called a face. This shape is called, do you know it? A cylinder. Now, a toilet paper roll is also a cylinder. It has a circle end and a circle end that is empty. But look what happens when I open that shape. This one's been cut on purpose to show you that the outside of a cylinder is actually a rectangle. If you flatten it out, it becomes a rectangle. But it has a rectangle face, a circle face, and a circle face. So that is called a cylinder. And again, you can see how different it is than just the flat circle. The circle is the face of the cylinder. Here's another cylinder. Circle face, and the rectangle around it. Cylinder. Here's a shape with a square face. It's got numbers on it. That is a cube. A cube is a shape that has, every side is a square. So each side is the same, each side is a square. That makes a cube. Here's another shape. It's a marble, but it's round like a ball. We call it a sphere. Good remembering. So that's a sphere. I'll put my spheres together. They're not circles, they're spheres. Here's a shape that has an end that is a triangle, and the side faces are actually squares. But because the end is a triangle and it sits up, we call it a triangular prism. It looks like the roof of a house, or maybe a tent. Triangular prism. Here's a shape. Tents are sometimes like that, or teepees. If I turn it upside down and you put ice cream on it, you might remember it easier. It's a cone. So whether it sits this way or whether it sits this way, it is still a cone. Three-dimensional shapes take up space, like this shell. It is also a cone. Here's one with square faces, all square faces. Have we seen one of those before? Sure we have. The dice was one of those. That is called a cube. All the sides are squares. If they're not all squares, like this shape, and instead they are rectangles, so the ends are rectangles, the front side is a square, but if the end is a rectangle, that's called a rectangular prism, like this soapbox. It's a rectangle. We call it a rectangular prism. So let's just review our shapes again. The flat shapes: triangle, hexagon, square, square, trapezoid, rectangle. The 3D shapes we're talking about today: rectangular prism, cylinders, spheres, cube, cone. Today, when you do your lesson, you're going to be sorting shapes and naming them. So do your best to remember the names of the 2D as well as the 3D or three-dimensional shapes.